Hello, my beautiful friends. So I welcome you in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. And in today's session, I have channeled the Pleiadians to query about the timelines we will experience when we move through the sub-densities of the fourth density consciousness. Now, from the previous sessions, we already know that we have got, basic 8 sub-densities, which we will have to go through physical changes in our bodies as well. And in this session, they tell us about the timelines we can expect as we enter into those levels of sub-densities. Now, before I begin, I had received many comments in my previous videos. Many of you were asking about whether the fourth density and the 5D, they are the same thing or not. In this regard, let me tell you that as far as I understand, the fourth density is the same as the fifth dimension. So they are the same thing, but most people, they refer to it as the fifth dimension, okay? So the fourth density and the fifth dimension are the same thing, and we will experience the changes, and we can expect the timeline which has been explained in the session. Also, one more thing I want you to understand is that they have said, before you watch the session, that they have said an important event is going to appear in the month of September 21st, and it's a pretty big event, so we can expect our planetary sphere to have drastic changes. Okay, once you listen to the session, you will understand what is going to happen. And also, before I begin the session, at the end of the session, they have also described a wonderful method that the Enlightened masters have been using. I believe this is not only on our planet, but also on other planetary spheres as well, to reach into the highest possible vibration which we are capable of. Okay, so this method is really fascinating, and it's towards the end of the session they have described it. So without any further ado, here is the session, my friends. Enjoy.
We are the Pleiadians, and we are now communicating through this instrument in order to share our thoughts and insights. We would like to warn those who shall listen to our message to use your discernment and only accept those messages which resonate deeply with your inner heart. We are now communicating from our Pleiadian star system in order to answer the query placed by this instrument. Before we begin, we shall share with you a certain information which has been given by the Council of Planets, which pertains to the 21st of September, as known in your language terms, which is now coming and approaching you in the future timeline of your time-space continuum. On this date, the so-called upgrades of consciousness of many of the entities shall take place, and also an event shall take place which will allow entities, those who desire to be swapped, will be soul switched at this time period. As per the vibration of the Earth planet, the Council has identified around 1.25 million people or entities of your planet who shall and who have chosen to be soul swapped by a wandering soul. Many of these souls had already made soul contracts for this event. Hence, many will experience soul swapping. Once an entity's soul is swapped, the new souls may appear different, and sometimes to many people, those who are close relatives or friends and families who have been soul swapped may appear different, as their behaviors will begin to project a different sense of personality. For the soul swap will allow a higher density being to enter into such physical vehicles and will perform its task of sharing love and light for assisting the planetary sphere. The query placed by this instrument pertains to the so-called timeline of the fourth density consciousness. In this regard, let us tell you that there are two aspects you must keep in mind if you want to understand the timelines and how it will affect and how the fourth density will enter, after how long the subdensities will exist. In this regard, let us tell you that the fourth density, a total time space allotted to a planetary sphere, is around 31 million years, which can exceed up to 35 million years. If a planetary vibration is struggling, the Council may give permission for the window to be increased. What we meant by 35 million years is that for the planet to fully enter and reach into the eighth subdensity of the fourth density consciousness will require around 35 million of the time space. And the other aspect you must remember is that this is the time scale of the planet, as we cannot predict how long a certain individual can take to enter into the fourth density, because individuals can at a split moment of a time space recognize the inner truth, and they can enter into any of the subdensities of the fourth density based upon their native vibration. And also remember that we can sense that this entity and this instrument wants to understand how long will each subdensity exist on the planetary sphere. As per the time scale of the Earth's planets, the first subdensity, the second subdensity, and the third subdensity have different time frames. The first subdensity shall last up to 1,000 years. The second and the third subdensity shall take up 5 million years of the time space, wherein drastic changes of the physical vehicles shall occur. Furthermore, also, the densities we correct this instrument the sub-densities above the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. These are the densities which shall accumulate the rest of the time period from the 35 million time-space nexus in the evolution of a planet. For the individualized portions of consciousness, there is no particular time frame, because entities can achieve vibration of a later subdensity in a single lifetime of recognition and of service to others. Some entities may take a longer time period, but it truly depends on each entity's progress of understanding and realizing the truth that is within its own heart. We shall now take this opportunity to share with you all a method of entering into the highest possible subdensity of the fourth density in this current incarnation, and even enter into the so-called fifth density consciousness. Like we have previously stated before in many sessions, your people must understand and learn the aspect of increasing your attention span. This method is simple, yet the most effective, found and used by many of your enlightened masters, as known by your people. The method is simply to choose a teeth in the mouth organ and to be aware of the teeth throughout your daily activities, to feel the teeth fully and to exclude any other feeling but the feeling of the teeth. The feeling of this chosen teeth shall be made primary for the training period, and those entities who shall feel a particular teeth with their tongue, feeling its grooves and its jagged interior portions, excluding any other feeling. For example, even if there was a feeling on the leg portion of the physical vehicle, such feelings should be excluded during this practice period, and only the feeling of the teeth chosen shall be kept in consideration, for this will increase your attention span, and you will feel the peace and the aliveness of being connected with the One Creator. This is all the message we have to share for today. We leave you now. We are the Pleiadians. Until we meet again. Bye.
So after watching the session, I hope you have understood some important aspects of the fourth density or the fifth dimension. And the first thing I noticed when I listened to the session again is that I noticed they have said that, the timelines, they cannot be so sure about the timelines, okay? They can only be sure about the cyclical changes of the Earth's timeline, because they said that, each individual portion of consciousness, which is us, has the ability to awaken at a certain time period if they desire to, and one single lifetime is enough to reach into even the highest level of vibration. This is what they said. So we as like conscious beings, we do not have this fixed timeline, so we can choose at any moment to be 5D or to be of the fourth density highest vibration. because that is our choice, and that is what the Pleiadians have said in this session. Furthermore, they also said in the session, as far as I can tell you, is that they have said that, the Earth's timeline, okay, now the planet Earth's timeline is pretty much fixed. Since the Council of Planets normally gives a particular amount of time for a planetary sphere to enter into higher vibrations. So what that means is that, our planet, as far as I learned from the session, our planet has around 31 million years to enter fully into the fourth density, okay? And maximum is 35 million years. So it may take around 35 million years of a stretch for our planet to fully enter into the later stages of the fourth density. And also one of the things that's really fascinating is that they have said that each density will exist for a certain time limit, okay, or a certain time limit is given to each sub-density of the fourth density. I believe, this is happening because at each sub-density there are certain changes or certain lessons to be learned. Maybe because of that, our physical vehicles will have to go through some changes. And they said, I remember, that the first stage of the fourth density, okay, to fully enter, I believe they said to fully enter into the fourth density or to cross over the first sub-density of the fourth density, it will take around 1,000 years or something like that, I heard from the session, okay? And then they have said there are other timelines which can stretch out. So, they have explained to us, this is not one-time thing, or, this process is not like it will happen tomorrow, okay? The thing is, we as human beings, or we as conscious beings, we can reach into the highest levels. We do not have any restrictions to, we can do it today, we can do it tomorrow. We just need to be, we just need to realize the truth within, and we need to choose service to others, okay? Our vibration, okay, individual entities' vibration can reach, the highest level, they said. But, there are two aspects. The planetary vibration. Now, the planet, because it is from one of the previous sessions I had done, okay, our planet has already passed through the first to the 8th density and is in the second cycle, okay? So I believe the planets, they have a certain time period, like we have time every day. The sun shines and it revolves around our Earth revolves around the sun. In a similar manner, there are timelines for Earth planet to enter into different vibrations of this fourth sub-density, okay? Now, I don't want you to misunderstand this. They said that we as individual souls can enter into any level of vibration. So that is fascinating. And also, they have said, okay, in this session, is that coming on the September 21st, there is going to be an event which is known as the soul swap event. Now, there are many souls who have incarnated on this Earth planet who want to be of service to humanity, I believe, and they, prior to incarnation on the Earth planet, had made some soul contracts to be switched at this time period. So many of you never know who is going to be swapped for another soul, and the soul that is going to come as a soul swap is going to be a soul from the higher dimension or the higher density, okay? So I believe a lot of wanderers are going to incarnate on the planet Earth after this event, because this event is pretty huge as far as I understand. And we will realize, many a times, I have realized this, some of my friends or my family members, they seem changed, okay? Now, why do they change, right? Sometimes, they have drastic changes. Like yesterday, the person was like this, and today the person is showing a different kind of behavior, right? So I believe, many a times, they have had a soul switch. So they said on 21st of September, this is going to happen to many souls, and it's going to be a huge event for our planet Earth, and I think it will help our planets to raise the vibration. And the last thing I remember they said in the session is regarding a method of keeping track of a point in your body or a teeth. Okay, you can choose any teeth. For example, I have been choosing this teeth over here because it's easy. It's in the front, so I am always in contact with it, and I am always keeping my attention on this. And what they said is, when you are keeping attention on this, just notice, how the internal layers of the teeth feel. Okay, when you are touching the teeth with your tongue, you can feel it. So how does it feel? Just notice that. And this is really fascinating. They said, to exclude any other feeling that comes. So if I have a feeling in my hand, I do not pay attention to it. I only pay attention to this thing. So which means, if we do this, I believe, our mind will totally empty. Okay, I've been trying this, and it's really fascinating. Okay, it feels so good. And I hope you'll try this. And also, thank you so much for watching the video. And those of you who are interested in knowing about your past incarnation cycle, you may send me an email on this email address. The link is also on the description. And when I get free time, I will definitely help you out. And also, thank you all for supporting me on Patreon, where I have been uploading uncensored videos about the topics which I cannot talk about on YouTube, because YouTube is very highly censored right now. And I am also uploading other sessions which are inspiring on a Patreon. So thank you all so much for all the Patreon supporters, and see you in the next video. Thank you.